All right, let's stop talking about this stuff. Let's work some problems. That's really the way to learn this stuff. What if you have the integral of negative over the values of -1 to 8, these are the limits of integration, of the function 6, which is just a constant, dx. It's a very simple function because, in fact, it's not even dependent upon x, it's just a constant. What would this be equal to? Well, I just want to remind you that this is the same thing as having the integral of 6x to the 0 power dx, because x to the 0 is just 1. Anything to the 0 power is 1. The reason I wrote it that way was because when you write it this way, I think you'll agree with me that the answer would be 6 over 0 plus 1 is 1, x to the 1 power. So we're using that formula, but we're going to have to evaluate this from -1 to 8, okay? Because it's a definite integral. So it's going to be 6x evaluated from -1 to 8, right? So how do we do that? Using the fundamental theorem of calculus, we evaluate it at the top one first. So that's 6 times 8 minus 6 times -1. Okay? And so this will be 48 minus -6, which is 48 plus 6, which is 54, which is the answer. Now, I want to also point out to you, look how I did this very explicitly. 6 times 8 is in the first one, minus, bracket, 6 times -1, and I left it like that. I didn't multiply it here. I wrote 6 times -1. I'm going to tell you right now, if you try to be fancy and skip steps and start doing things in your head, you will get the wrong answer. It is a matter of time, especially with the sign errors. So go ahead and take the few lines of paper to write it down exactly what you mean. Put your -6 here and make it positive and then add it together. If you start doing all this stuff in your head, you're going to get the wrong answer. It's just a matter of time, I can guarantee you that. Let's watch another problem. The integral from 0 to 1 of x to the 99th power, okay, over dx is equal to, we already know how to integrate this. It's 1 over 99 plus 1 is 100 times x to the 99 plus 1 is 100th power. This is just a formula we've used, evaluated from 0 to 1. So this is going to be 1 over 100 times 1 to the 100th power, so it's going to be times 1 to the 100th power, except I know it's going to be a 1 in the end, minus 1 over 100 times 0 to the 100th power. So you know this whole thing just goes to 0 because 0 to the anything power is just 0. And so in the end, what you're going to get is 1 over 100, which is the answer. So 1 over 100 times 1, 1 to the 100 power is just 1. This goes to 0, so that's your answer. Okay? So I'm going to do disable space when I say this equal 1 over 100, just like we just said, and we'll work the problem underneath here. Okay, now what if we had a problem that looked like this? Integral from 0 to 1 of 1 minus 2x minus 3x squared over dx. Okay, and we want to evaluate this guy. Now here we have basically a polynomial. We know how to integrate each part of it, and they're simply added together. Bracket 6 times -1, and I left it like that. I didn't multiply it here. I wrote 6 times -1. I'm going to tell you right now, if you try to be fancy and skip steps and start doing things in your head, you will get the wrong answer. It is a matter of time.